He's here. Hello, I'm a bit crooked. Totally crooked here. How is everyone doing? It's Sunday, and as always, as I try every 2 weeks to do, let's talk EV. We're gonna go through some news as always, and then talking what happened last week, what's gonna happen this week, and then we talk about the main topic because I have the ID7 Tourer Pro S here. Hey Grow M, hey Whittaker, Photostorm, the good people are here. Who else is here? We have 22 people here, only one like, that's fine. We're gonna play the like game soon, like game soon. The Tourer is charged. Today I did range test, and because of that I only get 408 kilometers of range at 80%. And Hank, I think, has the exact same thing. 404. Where are we? Hank has 404, but he didn't drive a range test. He just drove normal road. And we always know that's happening. Matthias and I did a comparison of the Pro and the Pro S. Hey, I wanted to tell my Patreons that's true. I'm a loser. We did that on Thursday on holiday. There was a holiday here, German National whatever day. A connection between West and East Germany. When that ended, it was October 3rd. And we did, because it was a holiday, it's perfect. He had off and we did the drive. We drove 120 kilometers, something like this. Charged both to 80%. No, I told the guys. It's fine. No, I told Patreons. It's all fine. We got 794 kilometers out of the big battery in Switzerland here. Well, it all depends how fast you drive. All works. I mean, I got 640 out of the normal battery, but there is a difference. I can tell you that we have measured a considerable difference in consumption and in a state of charge. And today I tested the battery capacity, but I don't know. I still have to calculate and see. I know what Hank gives me battery capacity. It's not 77, it's 74 to 75, usually more 74 kilowatt hours, and see what the big battery gives you, because that's always interesting. But first, let's go to some news. Number one, Tesla is stopping to sell the Model 3 with the LFP battery on the US market, because LFP is made in China, and in the States it's all anti-China. You cannot sell anything from China, and that's most likely the reason why they do that. Switzerland got 50 kilometers an hour average. Oh my god. So he didn't drive. But these temperatures now in Switzerland, I don't think it's too warm. In the summer it would be better. Then in Volkswagen there's a little fight between different factories who will build the ID2 in 2027, when there should be a 20,000 euro ID2 electric car to be sold. And the thing is always to think from Cannock Chase. I don't know what that is. Is this a town? City? I have no idea what Cannock Chase is. Good evening from Italy. Hello! MKHDHD. That's a bit close to someone else who's famous. It's good. We have to keep in mind the ID2 for 20,000 euros or 25 even. They will have nothing. That's for sure. Then this week was the world premiere of the new Skoda Elroq in Prague and other thing, and it will be extremely cheap. Right now ID3 is cheaper because they're selling it for a very cheap price. We're gonna get that to a second, and it's more of a crossover SUV thing, not a hatchback like the ID3 is. But we can see a few things. This is awesome. We get an all-wheel drive too. We get 125 kilowatt, 150, 210. So all the motors that we have, from the Pure, from the Pro, from the GTX, but 220 all-wheel drive, that's very interesting. And top speed 160 or 180. WLTP range, because you get the big battery. 52 is from the ID3 Pure, 59 from the ID3 Pro, and then from the ID3 Pro S. But they don't get the GTX battery, which is 79. That's interesting. Will be the same charging. That's also nice. Then, like I said, Volkswagen has reduced the price for the ID3 by 3,570 euros, because they give you a little, we're gonna look at it in a second, they give you a bonus that you can, but it's on all cars, not just ID3. Kia has updated over the air their car, and it now should have better route planning. I tried it in the Kia EV9 that I had last week, and the route planning was okay. It did well. You saw it. If you saw the video, nobody cared about the Kia EV9, or I made horrible videos. One of those two, or both. And I've found it okay. Maybe it was also lucky for the road, but it charged at good things, and it showed me good result. Go to here, charge from 20 to 50%, and go on. It looked all fine. The only thing was problematic, if you've seen it in the video, when you are charging, it doesn't tell you where you have to charge to. You have to remember that from before, or redo your trip. So stop the trip, do it again, and then it tells you. That was a bit annoying. Other than that, it was totally cool. Let's look at the Ionity network very quick, if there's anything. My God, look at this. So many new chargers here. Spain is getting full. France is totally full. Almost no one's building. Italy is getting good around Rome. Look at that. And what do we have here? Anything new in my area? It's still the same. Bamberg, that's new. I think that was last week too. I never go up here. I go up here or here. This is not a way I will go up. Why don't I do that? Why, when you go to because then here, there's no connection here. That's why it doesn't make sense. You go up here. Oh, interesting. And up here, Denmark, nothing new. Sweden has a few. Norway is full again. Nothing new being built. Yeah, up here. And Sweden is good too. Look at that. But the Czech Republic, we have a few here. I thought there was one here once. Maybe I was wrong. Very possible. And yes, and I wanted to show you this too, because that's interesting. There's a new ID bus for the cheapest price ever, they say. For 50,000 euros you can have an ID bus, and I looked at the specs. It's the smallest battery ever, and extremely weak. This is all plastic, as it looks like. And you get a 59 kilowatt hour battery like the ID3 Pro in this gigantic car, with a WLTP range of 329 kilometers, only 170 horsepower. That's also from the ID3 Pure. And then you can only check metallic silver as a color, which costs a fortune, 1,000 euros or nothing. And then interior, you cannot choose anything. And then tires, it has steel rims, 18-inch, or if you want a 19-inch, it's 2,500 euros. So everybody's getting the 18. And then you cannot check a lot of things. You only can you cannot even get travel assist, only the cruise control. It's awesome. But then you can have an ID bus for 50,000 euros, which sounds like a lot. 50,000 euros. I mean, what you get an amazing ID3. But if you need a lot of space, then this might be something for you. Not for me. So, there's a full-on budget bus? Yeah, look at those sporty stripes. Yes, wow, two-tone. Well, two-tone, the one is plastic. Yeah, somebody just wrote me that they have, scrolling down. Somebody has ID software 5.0, and when they go into the parking menu, it doesn't, you cannot see the, park assist with memory function. Doesn't show the the parking via the app, which is weird. Huh. That is totally weird. Okay, I'm just thinking about getting ID7, and the question is worth to invest in the bigger battery? First, I will make an extra video about this. I'm not gonna say everything because I don't know everything yet, especially with the energy getting out of the. I drive a week with the 52 kilowatt hour. It all depends how far you drive and how fast. If I just drive out of the garage, I can drive a long time with 52 kilowatt hour. And so I have to make an extra video if what is this? If the small the big battery is worth it. But we had a consumption drive, and we're going to talk about that. But first, what happened the last 2 weeks and what's going to happen the next 2 weeks. Last 2 weeks, first it was all Kia EV9. I made a lot of videos, and then I made a big mistake and deleted all of the videos of the Kia EV9. I could retrieve a bit, and I could make 2 videos, but one video it was totally gone, and I tried to do it, but no, and then the car was already gone at that time. So one video, a like video, what do I like and not like about the Kia EV9 is sadly gone. And it's weird if I film this at home when I don't even have footage of the car. That would be a bit weird, so I'm not gonna do it. Yes, then we did the drive with the Pro S and the Pro ID7. I have an ID7 Tourer, sadly not the sedan. I would have loved that to compare exact same cost. Other than that, they're totally the same. They have 19-inch wheels, no glass roof in this car. It has a heat pump, so it's really, except for the Tourer, it's an amazing spec. And I already measured the Tourer of having a high consumption by 1.6%. So I knew that. Don't worry, nobody cares about the Kia EV9. Yeah, I saw. Just it's a very specific car for some people. If you need a lot, it was interesting. It was horrible for us because I couldn't bring the dogs, because it was the 6-seater, and I couldn't put the dog blanket in the front because the seat belts were on the wrong side, and I couldn't put it in the back because I couldn't get there then, and so I didn't drive private with it, with the dogs, and only when I was filming and only alone. But that's fine. Now, since Monday, I have, like I said, the ID7 Tourer Pro S. It's charging right now. Well, it's done charging. And today I did a range test, charging test. I have no idea how the charging was because I film it now differently, where I put a suction cup on Ionity charger on top. First I had it on the glass, but sometimes it doesn't work. And so I put it on the plastic, and then the GoPro in there, and then I have my thing that I put on top of it, so it's all dark, because otherwise you cannot see anything when it's light outside. And it works really well, but it's all covered. If I would want to see what's the power, charging power, I have to take it away, and then it's later in the video. I didn't want that, so I just look in the car, and in the car I have seen 197 kilowatt, where in Hank the peak was 187. But this was in the beginning. So, and I saw also that it went under 100 kilowatt at around 77% or so. At the charger in the car, it was earlier. So charging is better, and we also tested charging at around 54%, 52% Hank against this Pro S, and the Pro S is faster by 3 minutes. So that's even though the one had to charge from 54 to 80, and Hank has to charge from 52 to 80, and it took 3 minutes longer for Hank. And in the Pro S, I had 105 kilowatt peak at that charging from like I said 54, and Hank only had 80 something, 90 something. Yeah, but it was way faster. But let's talk what next week. This week you're gonna see the range test with the Pro S, and again what I said, is it worth to invest in the bigger battery, like Pavel said here, and he's so right. because that's a question that I want to know too. And then next weekend I want to do a long distance drive with the Pro S, maybe 1,000 kilometers. I don't know yet, maybe 800, something like this. See how that is. If it's better to drive with this car, I want to drive 140 and see how charging and everything is when you drive a bit. It's got 25 minutes to 80% with the Bosch GTX, bigger battery. I don't know if this is exact same battery, because Bosch always had a different battery than the other cars. So I don't know if it's exactly the same. We'll see. It's the same size, but maybe it's a different chemistry. And the Bosch always had a higher peak than, for example, ID4, but not as much as ID7 with the 77 kilowatt hour battery. What else? Then next week, on Monday, so tomorrow in a week, I will get the ID7 Pro S will go, and I will get the ID3 GTX, and I have a lot of videos planned with this. Also a comparison drive against a very old ID3 Pro S, so a 77 kilowatt hour battery, but very old, and then a new one, Pro S, that just got delivered, and then this GTX, which has a 79 and the new motor and everything. Pro S might make sense. Then towing a lot. Can tow more? No, I don't think so. It's about the power. The GTX can tow a bit more. I think it's about that. What else did he write? Someone got off to drive something new. Refa is always going off to drive stuff, but it's not my thing. Huh? Looks like a blog by Apple. Apple Maps does work. Just tested it, but Google Maps does not show in the Edge display. That's weird. Yeah. Also, someone told me in ID Software 5.0 they don't have Google Maps Android Auto in their in the head-up display, so the augmented reality part, and I tested this and it works, but I don't know why it doesn't. Apple works for him. That's fine. Or maybe Google Maps with Apple CarPlay didn't work. That's possible too. I don't know. So, but let's talk about the comparison that we did, Hank against the Pro S, because there was a lot of fun. We met up here. I had 4 cars here when he came at the Kia EV9 here, the 2 ID7s, and then he came, Matthias, with his Model Y. And it's always interesting. He bought the Model 3 and then he bought a Model Y, but every time I let him drive Hank or an ID7, he drove a lot of ID7s. Really a lot. He drove the ID7 Tourer, he drove Hank against Model 3 and something else. I can't remember. And now he drove this Tourer, the Pro S. So he drives ID7s a lot, and every time he drives, we're on the phone the whole time, and he always says, "Oh my God, this is a different world when you come from a Model Y and drive an ID7, and I'm getting older, and I notice I want it more and more comfortable, and this is so my thing." So I don't think he will not buy another Model Y or Model 3 because of the comfort. But he loves the technology of Tesla, and he uses it all in the app, and now it can do this, and he showed me something. I can't remember what it was, but it was amazing. What was it? It was the opening on the door in the winter. So when the stupid door handles freeze, you can open the whole door with the app. You don't have the need to use the door handle. Should be interesting to see the YouTube view analytics between the ID7 and ID3 Pro. No, there won't be an ID7, all the ID3, what we do. Until the end of the year, we'll pull a trigger on an ID7. I can't decide between Pro S and GTX. Could you please advise? I live in the city and doing daily errands, including 300-kilometer trip once a month. GTX, you have automatically 6-7% higher consumption. You have more power. And when you get the 20-inch sport tires, you have another 4% higher consumption. Maybe more, maybe another 7%. Yeah, that was a lot. So if consumption is your main thing, then get the Pro S. And if you want more power, and even though it's just 40 kilowatt in the front, it is over 1.3, 1.4 seconds faster from 0 to 100, and you feel it. Top speed is the same. So it's all about if you want power or range. That's a very easy decision. And the GTX looks better. But yeah, that's it. That's what you have to decide. So we met up here. We had, like I said, 4 cars here. And then we drove with the 2 ID.7s to a nearby new charger. We have an ENBW charger in Tittling. And we charged both cars there to 80%. I charged at home to 80%, but then we drove there, so it was 78 or something, charged to 80%. And like I said, the amazing thing with these 2 cars is no glass roof, both 19-inch wheels, the same rims, summer tires. The only difference in those 2 cars is ID Software 5, Tourer, and heat pump. And because of the heat pump, I know that's a big difference. It was like 7 degrees or so on that day. We decided not to drive with heat, so we put both the cars in cold, so in low, the lowest temperature, and fan on 1, not even seat heating. And then we drove from there to the highway. What is it? 15 kilometers to the highway, then 130, 135 on the highway, and then back to Ionity. It was all 123, 124 kilometers or so, I think. And the interesting thing we saw right from the start, for whatever reason, Hank showed a higher average speed by 2 kilometers an hour, even though it showed the exact same time and the same kilometers driven. At the end, though, when we arrived at the charger, the Pro S showed 123 and Hank showed 124 kilometers driven. But this could be a few hundred meters. It doesn't have to be a whole kilometer. I don't know. But this was interesting. So average speed, even at the end, was 1 kilometer an hour off, I think. I have the picture here. Was it 109 and 108? Yes, at the end it was 1 kilometer an hour off because of that. That was also very interesting. The drive was nice. Like I said, we were on the phone the whole time, talked about the consumption the whole time, and from the start, even on the country road when we drove 100, the distance between the Pro S and the Pro Tourer, that's important, perhaps tire wear impacting the distance result. I doubt that Hank has a lot of tire wear. It's like this. I doubt it. It could be a new software thing, or I don't know. I don't think the tire wear at 124 kilometers would be a kilometer in the end. Maybe it's more the software and everything. It's very possible. Or it's just 100 meters because he drove, I don't know, he had to pass a few more times and this was longer. Also very possible. That happens. When he has to pass 10 times and I stay outside and just drive straight and pass all the cars and he drives left, right, that could be a difference, of course. What was I say? The difference in consumption was very constant from, I would say, after 5-10 kilometers till the end was always the exact same distance. And on the highway then we noticed that the difference in state of charge was also always the same. So we are very happy with our result. Like I said, we drove 123 and 124 kilometers. Where are we? But you don't see it. I could likely be put down to margin of error anyways, exactly. This is what Hank had. Where are we? Hank had 167, no, focus, 167 watt-hours per kilometer. And he drove from 80% to 52%. The Pro S arrived with 54%, so just 2% more. So Hank used 2% more than the Pro S because it's, even though the battery size is, what is it? Oh my God, I had a thing where I know I think 11%? What was it? I have a whole thing here. battery is 11.7% bigger. Net capacity 77 to 86 watt-hours per kilometer, and but the state of charge difference is just 3.85%. That's very interesting. Then the consumption, like I said, I had 167 watt-hours per kilometer for the trip, and where is the Pro S? Is here. Is it too close? Why can't you focus on this? It's 177 watt-hours per kilometer. So 10 watt-hours per kilometer more, or 1 kilowatt more on 100 kilometers. And that's 6%. That's exactly 6%. Now I can put in my data in here, and I made it a bit bigger. I have to go in here and yeah. So Pro to Pro S, state of charge 52 to 54 is 3.85% more used on the. No, it's just more here. I think this is a wrong number. I have to do it differently. It's not what I am. It's what I have used. I use 28% here, and I use 26% here. So yeah, that's it. I have. Is this true? No, it's the other way around. No, it's 7.7%. Hey, that's not 7%. I'm doing something wrong here. Or is it? 7% less, but the battery capacity is 11.7%. I think it's this. Okay, consumption is 6% higher, but this is a Tourer, and a Tourer I have seen in my other tests is 1.6% higher consumption. So if I think of that, then it's only 4.4% higher consumption. So you have, where was I? 7%. No, that's stupid. No, I don't need that. So we have 10%. No, that's stupid. 11.7% higher, bigger battery, but a 4.4% higher consumption. And I looked at the range. When I calculate the range, I get 442 kilometers in Hank and 473 kilometers in the Pro S. And so that's 7% more in the Pro S. But again, it's the Tourer, so it would be 8.6% more if it would be a sedan. So the big battery gives you 8.6% more range, but it's 11.7% bigger battery. So it's all about the price if those 8.6% is such a big deal. Charging, we then charged back to 80%. Hank charged 22.851 kilowatt hours. Like I said, we charged to 80%, did the whole drive, and then charged at Ionity. And he took 18 minutes, which is an average power of 76.17 kilowatt. The Pro S charged 23.918 kilowatt hours in 15 minutes. That's an average of 95.67. The same consumption between sedan with 20 and Tourer with 19. Yeah, so the 20-inch wheels, was it the sport tires 20-inch? Then it shouldn't be the same consumption. It was the normal 20-inch, I hope. So the Pro S charged 4.7% more, and if I think that the Tourer, again, 1.6% more consumption, then it's just 3% that it charged more, which is very interesting. So either the charging is very efficient, because consumption tells me it's 4.4% more. That's very interesting, but I want to see when I do my calculations, when I have done the range test and everything, how many kilowatt hours I have usable in the battery. Like I said, in Hank I had 73, 74. Where is one so I can show you? Where are we? Final video? No, not final videos. That's wrong. Wrong. Where's my Hank? ID7 Pro, West Project 650. There it is. And it is 75.4 is the biggest number I could get out of the battery, and this was in the summer, at 90 kilometers an hour, so as least loss. But I won't be doing this. I will be doing more. What did I have? A project 400. 74.3, driving at 130. And in the winter at 130, I had 73.1 kilowatt hours, and this was as -1 degree. So it's between 75 won't be happening because I'm not driving 90 with the Pro S. Is it 4.4% heavier? I have to see. I have to weigh them. I want to weigh them soon. We wanted to weigh them on Thursday, but the place where I want to weigh, they had holidays. Of course, it was a holiday, so it was fenced off. But I want to go through the week this week at some point and weigh them, and without me. Or with me, doesn't matter, we have the same weight then, what the difference is, because that was interesting. And then I know how much capacity do we have really, because if I see this, the difference, it's just 7% more. So for the same drive, this is hard to calculate right now. Because we have higher consumption, but a 7% more state of charge. Is it then really this, so the difference here? So the 4.4% or 6% here and the 7% here. So is this really true? This is the most interesting thing, but I will do this week. I don't know that yet. I have to see. Because now I know the difference of consumption, and then when I have my range test, I can say, okay, with this, at this range test, Hank would have driven this far because I know the difference in consumption. And that means I would have this much less range with Hank, and then I know, is this something good? Anybody, any idea about actual delivery times for ID.7 Pro S? I have no idea. It all depends on what you order. I think glass roof, heat pump, I don't know the specifics, but I think glass roof might take a while. I don't know if heat pump is still a problem. When I ordered my ID.7, heat pump was a big problem. That's why I don't have one. I'm a loser. I would have loved to have a heat pump and paid €1,000. But no heat pump for this guy. Yeah, that was the test on Thursday. It was a lot of fun. And like I said, today was the range test and the charging test. Let's look at the peak. We can look at the charging test. Where are we? I have fun here, don't we? Where are you? Wrong. Let's go over here. I show you charging test of today. Let's look at it. What we get. I charged, I think 7%. What was it? Oh yeah, first it didn't work. Yeah, I have a problem with this car, with this Pro S. In Hank, I have charged Hank, I don't know, 50 times more. So DC, I mean, I'm sure it's more than 50 times. And it doesn't matter what DC charger and what charging station I plug in and don't do anything, and it works. This car, the Pro S that I have right now, even though it should be the exact same body, especially where the charger is, so the angle, how the charging plug is and everything, at every charger that we were at ENBW, at Ionity, I was 1, 2, 4 times. Today it was 1, 2, 3 times, and then on Thursday. So I was on 5 chargers, and it was 4 different chargers, but 5 times I wanted to charge DC, and every time if I don't hold the charging cable, the DC plug, it doesn't charge. I get the same error message that communication didn't fail, that it didn't start, what you see here, where it just doesn't communicating, and then it says you couldn't do it. And then when I hold it, which happens in Polestar, in... Who else had that? This is why it comes so late. What was the other thing? There were a few cars that need holding of the DC. Polestar was the famous one. But in Hank, never ever did it not work to charge because of communication. It always worked. And in this car, it's every time. If I don't hold it, it doesn't work. Maybe it's this car, the pins are a half a millimeter shorter or longer, and then it doesn't have connection. But then it worked 6%, and it goes up right away to 195 kilowatt and to the 500 amp that Ionity in the CCS standard gives you. Also, the voltage is higher. We looked when we were charging, and the voltage of the Pro S is around 30 volt higher or something. I can't remember. What was it? Where are we? Versus Hank. Where are we? Is it this? Ah, there we go. 396. I have to mute you, otherwise. Go ramp up. 405 volt at 54% for the Pro S. And 380 volt at 62% for the Pro. So I would say 30 volt, around that. We'll see. I will do a video with comparison of the two charging curves. But let's see how far it goes up. I didn't see it today. And when, especially. So this is already way higher than what Hank can do. Peak on Hank is 191 kilowatt. And here we have it all about the voltage, because the amp at 500 amp just stay. Because of the additional module. That's true. Because of that we have higher voltage. That's the whole... But it doesn't go above the 204, 205, and that's it. Then it goes down. So 200, except for 191, you now have 205 kilowatt. That's a difference. And let's see how it goes down more and more. When does it go under 100 kilowatt? 100. Ooh, I looked in there. Ooh, that was me, because I wanted to see. There we go. At 76%, it goes down. And when is 80% reached? After 27 minutes. When did we have 10%? Two minutes. So it takes 25 minutes. Hank takes 25 and a half, but it's a smaller battery, 11% smaller. Very, very interesting. And then even above 80%, you still get 87 kilowatt, 85, 83 to 90%. That's awesome. That is real awesome, because when I show, where's Hank? I have Hank's charging curve, not curve, charging screen here too. Where's charge? There it is. Hank was filmed on the day. That's why you can't see anything. Look, this was filmed without that thing. And it was snowy and everything. Hank goes up only to 184 because the voltage is lower. See, here we have 360. Is the other one still open? Yes, I like that. At, where are we? I want at 12%, 369 volt. And you are at 12% where? 369, 398. So it is 30 volt. I was so right. Look at me. Haha. Just lucky. And then Hank goes up to 191. Again at 500 amp. Because of the low voltage, it doesn't go to higher power. Now it only needs 800 volt. Yeah, but then it won't charge with 200 kilowatt. Yeah, that was a bit, if you've seen the video today, the Kia EV9 with 800 volt or 530 to 630 volt, the charging power is not that amazing as it is with EV6 and Ioniq 5N and so on. And here we have 192 for a tiny little second, and then that's it. And we go under 100 kilowatts, I think way earlier, don't we? Yeah, way earlier. Look at that. Ooh. So here the 83 kilowatt that we had at 85%, they have here at 72%. Yikes. Where is 100 kilowatt? At 64%. Yeah, and where the other one was 74, right? Wasn't it the number? So yeah, the charging curve of the new battery is amazing because of the high voltage. It's just awesome. Same amps but higher voltage, and there you get the stuff. This is awesome. Charging is amazing. I'm gonna do, of course, whole charging video comparison. Put both screens up of the Pro and the Pro S. And I preheated the battery here too, because I arrived after my range test with 130 kilometers an hour with 10%. And after I arrived, I turned the battery heater on, which, by the way, still works. I think it was even 9%. I arrived with 9%, and I could turn on the battery heater in the Kia EV9 when you have low state of charge, and you do that, it says your state of charge is too low, we cannot heat the battery. So it's for nothing then. And I drove a bit with power today in the Pro S after that, and then I saw the battery just go up to the perfect temperature. It wasn't too much, it was just a tiny bit. But this is, I think, the best charging curve that this battery can give you. I haven't seen anything weird spikes. Nice German charging pedal with flat curves, yeah. Exactly. But today that's it for me, because the test today was 9 hours of me driving around. I'm tired. I want to go down and relax a bit. And tomorrow is editing all of those videos. Hank versus Pro S, and then the 2 range test and the battery video will come all this week. Tomorrow will be Hank versus the Pro S video. I am almost done editing. I have to film a tiny bit for the ending. The whole thing what we did just now, and then is done. Okay, if there isn't anything, we didn't do the like game. I parked by an AVD, it's bigger than my living room. Yeah, let's do the like game. Okay, let's do the like game. If you don't know what that is, we all press like at the same time, so we see the number of likes going up in a spike, which is also so much fun. And it's interactive. That's why it's a live stream. I say something, and then 10 seconds later, because there's always a delay, then everyone else is doing it, and it's awesome. So we'll count down from 3 to 0, then we all press like. I will do it too. I get ready. Where are we? I have to go to a different channel. There we are. I'm here. There I am. So let's count down. 3, 2, 1. And like. Let's pray like. Like. And switch. Like. And switch. I have a few channels. Where get advertising? I get advertising on this one. Well, it's okay. I have to watch advertising on my own live stream. And where's the last one? Behind the battery. Woo, that's the wrong video. Where's my normal one? There it is. Do I get advertising again? I get another advertising. Coupon visit already starts. 269 euro release. Amazing. That is amazing. So, liked. We liked it all. We Mr. Like and Mrs. Like. Okay, we are at 42. See? Interaction. Did you ever dislike yourself? Of course, but not here on YouTube. That's the normal depression thing. You don't like yourself? Ah, come on, that happens to everyone. Okay, you all take care. I see you maybe next week or the week after. Next week will maybe be a long drive, and maybe I don't want to do a live stream, but then the week after I have the ID3 GTX, all the range tests and everything on that Sunday. I think so. I have to look at my plan. Is this the plan? The 20th? Yes, then it's ID3 GTX. On Friday we are in Munich. On Thursday I have a meeting. And the week after I get the Model Y rear-wheel drive. We're going to drive against Matthias Model Y all-wheel drive. And then on Friday, so I get the car on the 24th. So on the Thursday, on Friday, we're going to do Model Y rear-wheel drive against all-wheel drive. And then on Saturday, I have ID3 GTX versus the other ID3s. And then on Sunday I will do long distance trip with it. That's sadly how it is. Work, but I will take the Wednesday off. I'm not gonna work on that Wednesday. Okay, you all take care. I see you maybe next week or in 2 weeks. Have a great week. Where is it? Intro. There. I don't hear it. That's the wrong one. You heard this microphone the whole time. Oh, I muted the wrong thing. I'm guessing your sound was horrible. You heard it from 2 mics. Or maybe the other one is too quiet. How much do you hear now? Because the mic is over here. I don't think you hear too much. If I tap it, that's what you heard the whole time. With this mic.